Hey guys, and welcome back to the Chaotic Kids channel, where I'm Michelle and making fantasies come true, one story at a time. And today we are going to be doing a wrap-up video, so if that sounds exciting, go ahead and stick around. So the month of June, how did it go for me? Honestly, I feel like it was a pretty productive month. There was a few lull moments where I didn't do much. But overall, I think I did, well, actually, I would say on average, I worked 3 to 4 days per week, which, is about on par. I would like to get it up to 4 to 5 days a week, but I think this week, I was just just this month, I was trying to go for a relaxing month, even though, let me be honest, I've never known how to just relax. That's never been on my plate. I never know how to relax unless I'm, on a vacation with my dad, because my dad, whenever he goes on vacation, we travel by vehicle, so we're driving for 10, 12 hours a day, stopping at different national parks, which is really nice, don't get me wrong. It's just, there's no phone access most of the time, and I don't have a laptop, so I wouldn't be able to bring a computer to work on my books. But honestly, I think it would be really nice to go on a vacation with my dad. The problem is I do get a little motion sickness, and I usually, whenever it comes to sleeping, whenever we're on these vacations, I usually sleep 95% of the time in the car, just because of my motion sickness. And then, on top of that, now that my mom is no longer here, my dad, he typically, he has cats at his house, and he feeds them once a day. And I tried putting my brothers in charge of that one time, and it went terribly. My brother who lives closest didn't even feed the cats, and I'm like, dude, come on. Yeah, so it's a little struggle, so I have to kind of be the responsible one and take care of the cats. Which is kind of unfortunate, but I think one day I really need to get a vacation, I think. Which I kind of did this week with reading instead of writing. But I don't know, I kind of want to get out of this house, go travel a little bit. I've actually been wanting to go to, where is it? St. Louis, I believe. I wanted to go to St. Louis, take a trip with my friend. It would only be for a couple days, but take a trip with my friend to, St. Louis to see one of the, split offs, or one of the places where the Daughters of St. Paul kind of own a business, they own a shop there, and I would love to just go in, kind of talk with the sisters and stuff, and just get to know them, see if the air, the atmosphere is kind of something I'd like, because like I said, I've told you guys on this channel, I want to become a sister one day. And the Daughters of St. Paul is where I'm looking to do it, possibly. Again, this won't happen for probably another 3 years, maybe 4 years. It depends on A, when we get this house done, and B, if I can get my mental health to a better state. Yeah, so it all depends, but I would like to take a trip somewhere, just get out of this house, get out of this city. But I just would need to go with someone, just because otherwise I don't know what to do. I would feel so uncomfortable and stuff. But yeah, so I need to take a break. Yeah, I don't know, I would say I would do it now, but I've already kind of taken the break because of reading, so I'm I need to get back into writing. I've had this itch to get back into writing, which I'm gonna do. Which, speaking of writing, I've mostly just been working on JJ's project this month, up until the last couple weeks, because JJ's project, I thought I did more chapters than I did, but apparently I only did 3 chapters. But so with JJ's project, I kind of hit this imposter syndrome kind of area, because I'm at chapter 26 and I'm I don't know how to continue on, kind of thing. I've never, I don't know how to move forward because of this one kind of setup. I have it set up as, I want this cat altar to kind of be in, a dream state. And I'm like, I don't know how to get him into that dream state and make it work into the story. And honestly, like JJ's project is a very complex story. And I would say has a lot to deal with the fact that he's got multiple personalities. But also just how I have it set up. Like, it's a very introspectual story. So like it's very much in his own head. And so it's just like how do I get like all these elements that I want in it into it, and also like add the element of being Catholic into it as well. Which I think right now I haven't realistically added the Christian elements in as well as I should have. It's more like, oh, it's set up in this Catholic place, but it doesn't have that much not relatively, like it doesn't have that much interaction between like JJ and his faith kind of thing. But I'm hoping that'll change in Act 4. I also am like only on draft 1 or the 0 draft. So there's still a lot of work to be done. Yeah, so I'm just having little troubles, but like I think I told you, I'm wanting to change that today. I'm wanting to get into writing today. Though I'm not sure if that'll happen today, just because I'm planning on uploading this video today, and my computer usually takes like an hour to upload the video. Download the video onto, like, I think it's download, but like download the video to my computer, then upload it. Uploading it takes like 30 minutes, but sometimes the downloading will take longer depending on the size of the video. I'm also really sorry. So there was that one reading vlog, or is it a religious vlog? I think it was a religious vlog that was like 56 minutes long. I am so sorry for that length of video. I didn't realize when I was recording it how long the video was going on for. Also, there was a part in it that I was listening to, and I was like, this part where I was talking about like the suicide and how there was happening a lot around me. I was like, this voice, this tone doesn't sound like the normal like Michelle voice I'm used to. And like, I kind of think I know who it was at the time, but I was like, this voice annoys me. And I was just like, that's just not me. And like, I don't know. It felt weird. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, so I'm wanting to do writing today. Another topic I'm thinking about talking about is, so with my writing, and my whole journey to becoming a religious sister, I've kind of been tossing around the idea of kind of completely shelving Shelley and Maris's works, and more focusing solely on like Grace's works and Marianne's work. Marianne and Grace are two of my Catholic Christian authors, while Shelley does my middle grade fantasy worlds, and Maris does my, did I say Shelley for my middle grade? And then Maris for my adult fantasy, which feels kind of weird to say. But I was watching a video by Father Mike yesterday. It was his homily. And, yeah, it kind of hit me at the point that I was like, you know, it's true that, like, I don't know, like, he was talking about limitations, and, you know, sometimes you gotta, like, almost, as an author terms, like, you have to kill your darlings. And I was like, ooh, that's hard to hit, because, like, obviously, like, I want Shelley's books to be something for my nieces and nephews in the future, but realistically, if I want to become a sister, like, I wouldn't be able to dedicate all my time, like, I have limited amount of space if I was to become a sister. Like, a lot of it would revolve around my religious time. That would be like praying and doing my missionary, like ministry work. Then there would be my writing time. And then there's also the social aspect, you know? And so I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to separate my writing time into Shelley, Grace, Marianne, and Maris all at the same time. And, you know, I'm like, oh, I could push it to have them all be all done. But I'm like, then I would get burned out. So it's a conversation that, like, needs to happen between us. I know that Shelley's, like, this sounds terrible to say, like, I think Shelley and Grace have not Shelley and Grace, but Shelley and Maris have kind of been having that same feeling. But also, like, their voices aren't as loud anymore. Like, they are alters in my system. They're just not as loud as they used to be. And I'm unsure of why that is. I don't know. There's so many, like, situations that I'm like, I don't know what's going on kind of thing. Yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting conversation to have, you know. I think that's all the writing updates I have, because like I said, Grace, for Grace's JJ project, I've kind of been taking a break. Wanting to change that now. I'll hopefully have a video on it, getting back into the work and stuff. Marianne is a saint book. I haven't really done much research. Would like to do that. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure. Once I have more concrete thought process and we've had a sit down chat with my system members have had a sit down chat with it, we will have a conversation about the whole possibly forever shelving Shelley and Maris's works. So we'll see about that, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break and I'll be right back, okay? Bye. Okay, so now we are going to be talking about reading. So reading-wise, I've had a really productive month. I've actually finished 4 different books. I finished A Light in the Shadows, which is a Catholic memoir. Then I finished Dreaming About the Boy Next Door, which is a young adult sweet romance book. I finished Breathe Deeply, which was a rosary invitational based on the Joyful Mysteries. Yeah, Joyful. Then I finished Why I Love Being Catholic, which is a Catholic book as well, which has all been really, really good. I enjoyed each of those books. And it was just really nice. I've actually got videos up of like me doing reviews on each one of them. I've been doing reviews on each of my videos, like each of the books I've read since, I want to say since March. I have a playlist I have a playlist in my channel of all my reviews. So if you want to go check that out, go check that out. Yeah, all of the books though have been enjoying. I will warn you, I don't do star ratings on books just because it's not my place. Like I feel like it's not my place because I look at it sometimes as a writer and a reader. It honestly depends on my mood of the day, which way I look at the book. And if I'm like, oh, this book I want to really dissect and stuff. So it's hard to really look at it from a scientific, like to look at it from a reader perspective. But each of them I enjoyed. Really, I enjoy all the books I read. And like, I will say if I really don't like the book, I will still try to push through it, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. So I hardly ever DNF books, but so far I've picked out really good books. But yeah, let's talk about the books I'm reading. So right now I'm really reading 3 different types of three different books. The first book I'm reading is Unbound: A Practical Guide to Deliverance by Neil Lozano. This is a book that is a Catholic read. This is part of the ministry, or the local group that I'm kind of joining, or at least I go to their meetings whenever they have them. I've been doing this since the 6th of going to these like teaching places. So I've been there 3 different times. This week, well, on Saturday, they didn't have one. Then the next one's the 4th. Then there's one on the 4th. We're not having it. The next one we have is the 11th. So I've got a little bit of a break, but I've been enjoying it. Hopefully by the time the 11th happens, I will have this book done, hopefully. But I'm using this book kind of as a, like, really diving into my own psyche, being like, okay, these are different lies that I've told myself, which is kind of what this book, like, the Unbound Ministry is like, diving deep into these lies that you've told yourself over the years. And this last reading that I did brought up trauma responses and stuff. Not necessarily trauma responses, but it brought up, oh, hold on. how did it, but basically, like, no, it is responses to trauma and stuff. So I kind of talked about that with I didn't talk with it about anyone. I journaled about it and kind of talking about, like, my own sense of pride and how I feel like sometimes I'm better than everyone, or I don't know, it's weird to talk about. But I kind of worked on that. I'm going to also try to bring it up to my therapist, whenever I see her next, just so then I can kind of break down more about this, like, whole sense of pride that I have. And even then my sense, like, the word pride might be the wrong word. But yeah, I'm doing that for this book. Really think it's going to be helping me. I'm going to use it, like, I'm going to be using this kind of, way of thinking. Like, they talk about the 5 keys in here, which, are, I can't remember all of them, but it's, I can't remember, never mind. But there's 5 different keys that are trying to work through these sins that you have. But I'm also going to tie it into the mental health way, in a way, just so that I'm not solely, like, there's a balance in the world between emotional, physical, and spiritual, like, to heal yourself. And I'm going to kind of combine 2 of those together. Physical, I think, is just your body, realistically. So I don't think I'm gonna do much like, I'm doing physical stuff to, like, lose weight and stuff. But I don't think that really has a tie-in to the sins that I've said in the past. Anyways, that's one of the books that I'm currently reading. The next one is Finding Ashley. This is a book that my grandma got me. It is by Danielle Steele. Really been enjoying this one. It is vastly different from the books I usually read. Typically, I read books that are, like, nice, fluffy content, while this one is very emotional. And it also, like, it just takes you on a journey, and it's intense. Yeah, so it's definitely a different type of read, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. I'm about halfway through it. Yeah, it's been a really good read. It is, I believe, an adult book. I can't remember how it's labeled, but I'm pretty sure it's a, like, women's fiction kind of story. And then the next book I've been reading a lot of is The Princess Swap. This one is of Snow White kind of switching, Snow White. Snow White, oh my goodness. Is it Snow White? Why does that word now sound weird? But Snow White, yeah, Snow White. Why does that sound so weird? But Snow White and Sleeping Beauty story switching. Really enjoying this book. I'm about a quarter or a third of the way through the book. Again, really enjoying it. It's a nice little middle grade that I can relate to. Well, not relate to, but it keeps my littles entertained. Another book that I'm wanting to read. I actually have, like, 3 other books that I'm wanting to read, but this one's probably, like, my next one on the list is 4 Signs of a Dynamic Catholic. Don't know much about it. It's by Matthew Kelly, and I really enjoy Matthew Kelly's works. So, yeah. The other 2 books that I'm wanting to read is a complex PTSD book, which I've been trying to read for, like, the last 3 years. And then the next one is Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. This one I've had for a while, but I'm just restarting it, so it's kind of all over the place. But I will say so it's obviously the end of June. Well, I guess obviously whenever you watch this, it's the end of the June for me right now. And so far this last 6 months, I have finished 10 books, which is really good, especially considering if you think about last year for me, I didn't read a single book last year. Or if I did, it was towards the end of the year and I was just rushing through them. I can't honestly remember, but so far I've read 10 different books and I've still got this drive to continue to read. And I think that'll be very beneficial for me just to continue reading, to grow as an author and grow and get some time to just escape kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of how reading has been. I am going to, again, take a little bit of a break, and we will talk about my goals for July and how I want to end out this year. So I will be back, okay? Bye. Hey guys, fair warning, I've lost a lot of steam now. Anyways, so pretty much how this year is going to end pretty much the same way it started with writing, reading, and praying. I'm wanting to actively go to a church and just sit in front of the Blessed Eucharist, or at least the tabernacle, and just pray, be in his presence. Also do the daily readings for the scripture verses and stuff. Just do daily readings, continuing on with my Bible in a year, continuing to pray at least one rosary a day. I'm shooting for 2, but at least 1 rosary a day. Then I would also like to eventually do a 33 days of the Blessed Eucharist, or Glory to the Blessed Eucharist, I think. I don't remember what the book's called. I have it somewhere on the back of my shelf. I just don't want to go and get it. There's also a 33-day morning Gloria, I think, that I'm wanting to read. Yeah, so there's just several things I'm wanting to do for my scripture. I'm also wanting to buy more books, both my own books, because I'm dwindling back there. But I'm wanting to get into schools and talk to kids, either do book readings or also, or doing, just talking about writing and stuff. Sorry, I'm losing steam. It's hot. I'm tired. But yeah, I'm just wanting to do more active things. Also, it'd be nice if I sold more books, more copies of my own books, because lately I've just been giving them away. But honestly, like, for me as an author, my goal isn't necessarily to make money. It's just to continue to write my worlds, share them with the world. If people like them, they like them. If they don't, they don't, but share the world. And when it comes to Shelley and Maris, with what I'm going to do, if I'm going to shelve them, or just, I don't know, but I'm unsure of what I'm going to do with them, or like, it feels weird to say I don't know what I'm going to do with them, because they are part of me. But if I'm going to have them continue to work on their books and, like, expect to publish them kind of thing. But we'll just see how that happens kind of thing. But until I leave for the convent, if I do leave for the convent and become a sister, or before I do anything drastic, I plan on just continuing to have the books out for sale, and continue to try to spread the word about it. But I'm thinking I'm more leaning heavily towards, just, like, do more speaking events that don't necessarily relate to Bugstopia, but still have a tie-in, because they are my books that I've released. But yeah, that's kind of how things are going to be going moving forward. Again, you're going to see a lot of the same content that I've been seeing. Yeah, that's kind of how things are going to be going. I don't think I have anything else to say. Again, I'm losing steam, but I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and remember to keep making fantasies happen one story at a time, okay? And I'll see you guys later. Bye!